Graduates and guests, good morning and welcome to the University of Adelaide's graduation ceremony. This morning's ceremony is for graduates from the Faculty of Health and Medical Sciences. The ceremony will commence very shortly, and the University has a contract photographer to provide photography services during the ceremony. If you do wish to take a photo, I would ask that you do it discreetly from your seat and with the flash off. To maintain the ceremony's sense of occasion, I would ask that you put your mobile phones off or to silent. And in the case of an emergency, please follow the direction of all staff member. The emergency assembly point is the Goodman Crescent Lawns to the west of Benithan Hall. The evacuation plan can be found on page 6 of the program. For safety reasons, guests are not to enter the galleries above, and please do not sit on the steps in the balcony area. As a reminder, please keep your mask on for the duration of the ceremony, and we encourage you to continue wearing your mask after the ceremony as you move around the campus. Thank you and enjoy the ceremony. Graduates and guests, the academic procession is about to enter the hall. We will be singing the national anthem, the words of which are on page 8 of the program. Please now stand for the academic procession and remain standing for the national anthem. Thank you.
Please be seated. I, Catherine Branson, Chancellor of the University of Adelaide, declare open this congregation convened for the purpose of presenting degrees. Distinguished guests, parents, friends, families, most importantly, those graduating today, welcome to this University of Adelaide graduation ceremony. Gana Miana, Gana Yata, Nadlu Thambandi. In English, we recognise we are on Ghana land. We acknowledge the Ghana people, past and present, the original custodians of the beautiful land of the Adelaide Plains, the land on which the campuses of the University of Adelaide are built. We acknowledge their ongoing spiritual connection to this place. Graduates, your graduation is an event in which you and your family can take great pride. We at the university also take great pride in your success. This day, your graduation day, is a day which might cause you to reflect, to think about what brought you here and what your future holds after you leave this hall today. Whatever direction your life might now take, I know that the knowledge you've gained here, the skills you've developed here, will stand you in good stead, not just in your professional lives, but we hope in every aspect of your life. Graduates today all come from the Faculty of Health and Medical Sciences, so it's appropriate, I think, to reflect on just a couple of historic markers of that faculty. This year marks an important milestone for gender equity in the faculty. It's 130 years since Laura Margaret Hope, née Fowler, graduated in medicine and surgery. A pioneer of her time, Laura was our first female graduate of medicine and paved the way for many of you graduating today. Gender equity has been a central commitment of this university since it was established in 1874. Women have sat in our classrooms with the equal status of men ever since we've been teaching at this university, and their right to participate on equal terms with men was embedded in the letters patent establishing the university. It's also important, I think, to recognise that this year marks 100 years since Howard Florey was conferred an MBBS. Many of you will know, I think, that Howard Florey went on with others to win the Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine in 1945 for the development of penicillin, a development that saved the lives of countless millions of people in our world. That provides, I think, a nice segue as I introduce our graduation orator today. In a quite different way, our graduation orator has been responsible for protecting and saving lives of many. As most of you can probably recognise by looking to the stage, our graduation orator today is Commissioner Grant Stevens. We know him, of course, as Commissioner of Police in South Australia. He has 38 years of general and specialist policing experience, and Commissioner Stevens is responsible for the safety and protection of this state, its 1.8 million South Australians, across an area of over 1 million square kilometres. He's managing a budget of more than $1 billion, leads more than 6,500 staff in achieving the SAPOL vision of building safer communities. Throughout his distinguished police career, Commissioner Stevens has developed and delivered many of SAPOL's operational and strategic policing and business reform initiatives, including the most significant restructure to SAPOL's frontline policy models. During these extraordinary times of COVID-19, the Commissioner has provided powerful leadership as the State Coordinator under the Emergency Management Act. He has maintained the highly demanding role as the principal decision-maker, overseeing South Australia's pandemic response, while at the same time continuing to lead SAPOL in meeting the challenges of providing effective policing services across the state. Commissioner Stevens is married with 5 children, I'm told also 2 mini dachshunds and 1 pug. He is a keen amateur cyclist and actively involved in his family's sporting activities. I'm also told he regularly enjoys a glass of South Australian red wine. We are privileged to hear from the Commissioner today. Please welcome Commissioner Grant Stevens.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, graduates, thank you for the invitation to speak at this year's graduation for students from the Faculty of Health and Medical Sciences, including the Adelaide Medical School and the School of Public Health. While I've never studied medical sciences or public health, I feel somewhat qualified in this area, given my recent role during COVID-19 and dealing with the pandemic. Also as a result of my close working relationship with SA Health over the last 18 months. This is evidenced by the relative ease with which I can use words and phrases such as epidemiology, serology, transmissibility, non-pharmaceutical interventions, R0, viral load, genome sequencing, just to name a few. And of course, there's not a day goes by where I don't utter the words Nicola Spurrier. I am honoured to be able to share with you what I've learned along the way through my experience, and I hope this will be of some use to you as you move into the next phase of your careers. I stand here as the South Australian Commissioner of Police, a position I was appointed to after 33 years in policing in South Australia. And perhaps I'm stating the obvious, but I didn't start out my career as the Commissioner of Police or with aspirations of being the Commissioner. In fact, when I completed school, I didn't harbour any driving ambition to become a police officer. My first job on leaving school was with Target at Tea Tree Plaza, pushing trolleys. And I apologise now to anyone who may have been foolish enough to park their car in that car park in the early 1980s when I was on trolley duty. And I will qualify that the limitation of time for property damage has passed. The managers at Target apparently saw great promise in me and moved me from trolleys into the china and glass section. They obviously questioned the wisdom of that decision because after a few short weeks I was moved into men's socks. And I think this was to minimise stock losses. It was during a stock take on a Saturday afternoon in late 1981, when I'd finished counting over 1,000 socks, that I decided that anything that didn't involve counting socks would be a better career move for me. That was my motivation to become a police officer. Being accepted as a police cadet almost 40 years ago provided me with a sense of purpose. I had a goal and I wanted to succeed. Since joining SAPOL as a 17-year-old, I've continued on what has turned out to be a lifelong course of study and development involving promotional exams, specialist courses, development programs, as well as tertiary and postgraduate studies, all with great results, and I can say with more than my fair share of 7-day extension applications. Having had time to reflect on my career so far, it is my experience that that has contributed to my ability to lead and manage an organisation like the South Australia Police. Some of these learnings come from my successes, but many lessons come from those times when I know I could have done things differently or better. As Jason Statham says in the movie The Mechanic, good judgment comes from experience, and a lot of that comes from bad judgment. I'd like to share 10 things with you that I think are important to being successful and to ensure that you enjoy what you do in life. The first one is be a lifelong learner. As much as you know now, there is so much more to know. Don't be afraid to try new things. Be curious. Some of you will continue your academic studies, some of you won't. Regardless of which path you take, always be open to learning more about yourself, about your chosen vocation and your environment. Secondly, do the right thing. As easy as it sounds, this is often the hardest thing to do. When you're faced with a problem or a dilemma, the best thing you can do is the right thing. It won't be easy at times, and there will be people who will encourage you to stray from the right path, either deliberately or by setting a bad example. What is wrong, even when everyone else is doing it. Be true to yourself and do the right thing, even when no one is looking. Thirdly, do your best. Whatever you do, do it to the best of your ability, especially the hard things. People will remember you and judge you on the challenging things you take on, not the easy things. Take pride in doing things well, and remember those around you know the difference between a good, average and poor job. If you enjoy doing something, it's easy to do it well, so do it well. If you have to do something that you don't enjoy, do it even better. Fourth, be honest. Don't be fooled into thinking you can fool others. People know when you are not honest. Their ability to sense when you are genuine and sincere should not be underestimated. More importantly, be honest to yourself. This is the only way you know what you are capable of and when you have done well and when you have not, and where you can improve. Number 5, get it done. Difficult things, whether they are decisions or tasks, don't get easier the longer you leave them. They usually get harder. To quote Mark Twain, if it's your job to eat a turd sandwich, it's best to do it first thing in the morning. If your job is to eat 2 turd sandwiches, eat the biggest one first. Mr. Twain actually said frog instead of turd, but Australian native frogs are protected at law, so I would not recommend eating frogs. Number 6, set goals. Have some idea about what you want to achieve. Take time to think about this and identify some goals to strive for. Make them realistic and don't run before you can walk. It's okay to have long-term goals, but set some specific goals that are on the horizon that you can see and strive for. Sometimes you will fail, but if you don't have goals, you will definitely not succeed. Inertia kills more dreams than failure ever will. Number 7, roll your sleeves up. If you want to stand out amongst your peers, work when you're at work. Do more than what is asked of you. Be prepared to take on those tasks that others avoid, and don't wait to be asked or directed. Think ahead. Don't be one of those people known for propping up the water cooler. People will notice and admire your work ethic. Number 8, value diversity. We have all travelled different paths and we've seen things through different lenses, so don't judge others or dismiss what they say. It may be you who is wrong. Look at the positives in others and treat people with respect and dignity regardless of their background. If you respect and value others, they will respect and value you. Number 9, be courageous. This is not about physical bravery. This is about moral courage and the courage to take risks. Have the courage to be personally accountable for your actions and to stand up for fairness and equality, even when that is the hardest thing to do. You must also have the courage to take risks, not silly, ill-considered chances, but risks that will serve to advance you. You have to be prepared to lose a little if you want to make gains. Finally, number 10, have fun. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, and you don't have to do it, do something else. If you're like me, you'll be one of the lucky ones who will get up to go to work each day knowing they have a job that they love. Enjoy what you do, because sometimes being paid well just isn't enough. I found a passion in policing that has provided me with a fulfilling and rewarding career. As I said, it gave me a sense of purpose and a direction. Like everyone, I've experienced difficulties, challenges and disappointment throughout my career, but they are far outweighed by the rewarding experiences, friendships and successes I have enjoyed so far. When we reflect on our careers, as you will do in time, we only remember the good things, so make them worth remembering. Graduating students of 2021, congratulations, and I wish you every success for the future. Thank you.
On behalf of the graduates and their families attending today's ceremony, I would like to thank Commissioner Grant-Stevens for his stimulating and inspiring address. We are honoured that you have taken the time to join us on this special day and share with us your thoughts and experiences. Your words of encouragement and advice are greatly appreciated. They remind us that education places upon us an enduring responsibility to make the best possible use of our talents and to contribute to the betterment of society in every way we can. Please join me again in thanking Commissioner Grant-Stevens.
I will now receive the candidates for degrees. I call on the Vice-Chancellor and President.
Chancellor, I, Professor Peter Hoy, AC, Vice-Chancellor and President of the University of Adelaide, certify to you and to the whole university that the graduates who will be presented to you have all fulfilled the conditions prescribed for admission to the award for which they are so presented.
I, Catherine Branson, Chancellor of the University of Adelaide, by virtue of the power committed to me by the University, confirm that each graduate is admitted to the rank and privileges of a holder of the award in the University of Adelaide for which they are so presented. I call on the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Health and Medical Sciences, Professor Benjamin Kyle, to present the graduates.
Chancellor, I, Executive Dean of the Faculty of Health and Medical Sciences, Professor Benjamin Kyle, present to you graduates from the Faculty of Health and Medical Sciences. To the degree of Bachelor of Health and Medical Sciences, Rana Olive Berlin. Jessica Kimberly Buderman. Georgia Marie Caruso. William Alexander Cleghorn. Wesley Cooper. Tadia Chulik. James John Davis. Claire Dikaya. Patrick William John Hall. Alicia Rose Harneman. Emma Jean Hillman. Peter English Iroga. Emmanuel Kale. Dao Hang Lim. Yana Jane Manalili. Emma Marinelli. Kieran Todd Martin. Lana Matiucci. Audrey Mawere.
Alicia McGrath. Francesca Isabella Mills. Florence Nyambura Mahoy. Brody Picton King. Amy Poyser. Tina Pritchard. Vanessa Kate Ram. Vishmi Mayasha Ratnasakara. Malika Razai. Herson Rivas. Connor Patrick Ryan. Jaijun C. Hannah Victoria Shepherd. Taro Tamakuni Keast. Claire Patricia Vieira. Punlapat Wedku Nanagun. Ashley Emma Wilhelm Plomley. Anastasia Zachariah. And Siti Zurana Zaid. To the degree of Bachelor of Health and Medical Sciences Advanced, Seiko Kathiwi Asarika Bungani. Maxim John Buckley. Katrina Cow. Nicole Lorraine Grace Cometa. Sujata Devi. Cleo Athena Georgiades. Svathi Gunasekaran. Jessica Mail. Also receiving the Diploma in Languages, Ashton Milton Hine. Phu Min Triet Nguyen. Amy Catherine Nielsen. Vida AJ Patel. Charlie Scott. Lucy Grace Schillebeer. Annie Simpson. Ellie Trelaw. Zara Sakatos. And Jessica Page Ward. To the honours degree of Bachelor of Health and Medical Sciences, Joshua George Cavour. Catherine Jane Lake. Keziah Jane Skeen. Luke Sebastian Spake. Hui Jia Tan. And Sherlyn Yong. Chancellor, this concludes the graduates from the Faculty of Health and Medical Sciences.
Chancellor, I, Interim Head of the School of Public Health, Professor Tracy Merlin, present to you the graduates from the School of Public Health. To the Graduate Certificate in Public Health, Jaden Phu Nguyen. To the Graduate Certificate in Counselling and Psychotherapy, Madeline Frances Stenterford. To the degree of Master of Public Health, Barney Advayu. Farah Andari. Victoria Nicole Bedford. Chun Ming Chan. Yutsun Ding. Bala Vinagade. Siddhartha Gua. Wei Guo. Samaya Hanafi. Jingyi Hu. Samrina Hussain. KM Tawfiqul Islam. Apurva Kulkarni. Francine Saab. Tianyu Song. Krishnaswamy Sundararajan. Tegan Tiss. C. Faye Brian Yam. Guofang Yuan. To the degree of Master of Biostatistics, James David Brown. And Catherine Beth Dancy. To the degree of Master of Counselling and Psychotherapy, Nellie Lakshmi Anderson. Colleen Alexandra Bahonis. Rana Rose Kirchner. Catherine Stevens. Alice Ivett Stokes. Diana Vasilyevich. To the degree of Master of Clinical Science for a thesis entitled Experiences of Learning, Development and Preparedness for Clinical Practice among Undergraduate Paramedicine Students, Graduate Intern Paramedics and their Preceptors, a Qualitative Systematic Review, Hilding Hannah. For a thesis entitled Interventions to Control Children's Screen Use and Their Effect on Sleep, a Systematic Review and Meta-Analysis, Katie Bianca Martin. And for a thesis entitled The Diagnostic Test Accuracy of Serum Procalcitonin Compared to C-reactive protein for Bone and Joint Infection in Children and Adolescents, a Systematic Review and Meta-Analysis, Brett Kingsley Ritchie. To the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, for a thesis entitled The Rationale and Design of Public Involvement in Health Technology Assessment, a Systems Thinking Approach, Edeline Lopez McInnes. Chancellor, this concludes the graduates from the School of Public Health.
Chancellor, I, Interim Dean of Medicine of the Adelaide Medical School, Dr. Martin Bruning, present to you graduates from the Adelaide Medical School. To the degrees of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, and also receiving the honours degree of Bachelor of Health and Medical Sciences, Tristan John Bampton. Sher Lin Chong. Yi Heng Fong. Caden Huang. Soravi Kiranan Tawat. Chi Ling Lim. Zinlun Lim. Yi Ju Lim. Long Tin Lo. Lee Sa Eng. Bridget Emma Rodder. Matthew Vincent Steen. And Pianit Wijatum. To the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, for a thesis entitled Effects of Bitter Substances on Energy Intake and Blood Glucose and Associated Gastrointestinal Functions in Healthy Humans, Vida Bittarafan. For a thesis entitled Anatomical Variations of the Cerebral Basal Arterial Network with special emphasis on morphometrics and their relation to cerebral aneurysms, Arjun Burlakolti. For a thesis entitled Investigating Reprogramming Factors and Neural Conditions to Convert Human Dental Pulp Stem Cells into Neural Stem Cells, Maria Rumenova Ganchiva. For a thesis entitled A Delicate Balance, Modulation of Reactive Oxygen Species After Sinus Surgery to Improve the Healing Process, Michael Arthur Guzos. For a thesis entitled Assessment of Blue Light Exposure in the Occupational Visual Field, So Young Lee. For a thesis entitled Analysis of Treatment Efficacy and Molecular and Cellular Outcomes in Mouse Models of Congenital Epilepsy and Intellectual Disability, Cara Loring. For a thesis entitled Overcoming Challenges to Development of a Lentiviral Mediated Airway Gene Addition Therapy for Cystic Fibrosis, Alexandra Sarah Ann McCarran. For a thesis entitled Impact of Meningococcal Vaccines on Carriage and Disease, Mark McMillan. for a thesis entitled Pertussis and Influenza Vaccination During Pregnancy, Maternal and Neonatal Health Outcomes, Hassan Ibrahim Mohammed. For a thesis entitled Impact of Time-Restricted Feeding on Glucose Metabolism and Metabolic Health, Prashant Rejmi. For a thesis entitled Synaptic Morphology, Function and Regulation in a Paediatric Onset Neurodegenerative Disorder, Andrew Peter Shoebridge. And for a thesis entitled Mitochondrial Function Regulates Telomere Elongation During Embryogenesis, Yasmin Eleanor Winstanley. Chancellor, this now concludes the presentation of graduates from the Adelaide Medical School and for this ceremony.
I'm now delighted to introduce Mr. Maxim Buckley. Maxim this morning received his Bachelor Award for Health and Medical Sciences Advanced. He will give the valedictory address on behalf of the cohorts of students graduating today.
Sorry. For those who don't recognise me, I used to have long hair and no glasses, so quite a change. All right, well, first of all, good morning everyone, and congratulations. We did it. Despite a global pandemic, multiple lockdowns, online learning, and of course a mountain of assignments, we did it. And that's pretty cool. So congratulations. My path to university, and more specifically medical science, certainly was a unique one. Two important events occurred in mid-2016. Harambe the gorilla tragically died at Cincinnati Zoo, and I moved to Adelaide from Alice Springs. I didn't head straight to this university, but if I explained that, it would mean that my address would go over time. Having always wanted to be a scientist growing up, and being fascinated by the human body, in late 2017, I decided it was time. I was going to enrol. So I sat the stat test, jumped on the SATAC website, got emailed my offer, and promptly enrolled in international relations and economics. Suffice to say, economics wasn't for me, and if I had to learn about one more country's political system, I was going to scream. So into health and medical sciences I went, but not before a quick detour into nursing. Less than 50% of students complete their degree in the allotted 3 years it should take, and I'm certainly in that majority. For many years, my path through uni was a joke for myself and my friends to make, and up until a month ago, it stayed that way. However, in meeting with an influential lecturer of mine, Dr. Amy Salter, it was made clear to me that my tumultuous journey was because of my tendency to take risks. That's right, I, Maxim Buckley, known as always being careful and pragmatic as a child, am a risk taker. That risk-taking eventually paid off. I'm standing before you today because of my ability to take risks, and I would encourage you to do the same. If you don't feel qualified for the position, just go for it. You have nothing to lose. If you want to take 6 months off and travel the world, then why not? Opportunities will still be here regardless. There's no point in not trying to find what will make you happy. I must admit that the years that I have spent at the university have been some of the best in my life. A bit lame, I know, but honestly, they have been. I've taken part in so many incredible institutions such as university clubs, the student magazine On D, the Faculty of Health and Medical Sciences, and of course, Old Uni Bar. I've made wonderful lifelong friends. I'd name them all, but there are honestly too many. Most importantly, I've made my family proud, and I'm absolutely stoked that they're here today to see me graduate because I couldn't be up here without them. So let's give it up for everyone who got us here today. Our family, our friends, our partners, and the faculty and university staff, because we're here because of them. Thank you all for being a part of my university experience. It has been incredible and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Now go out into the world, experience it, and make it better. Thank you.
Thank you, Maxim. It now gives me great pleasure to be able to congratulate as a group all of those who graduated today. Be proud of what you've achieved. But remember, as Maxim says, those who supported you to get where you are, your family and friends, but also the fine staff of this world-class university. I wish you every success as you start this new phase of your life. As graduates of the University of Adelaide, you're also its alumni and its ambassadors. Over the years since this university was established, its alumni have made magnificent contributions all around the world. And today you join this community of over 150,000 alumni located in more than 135 countries across the globe. We have 21 global alumni networks, including 8 international networks. I hope you might think of joining one of these networks. I'd now like to thank our mace bearer, Dr. Cara Loring, and also Mr. Maxim Buckley, our valedictorian, and all who assisted in the organisation and running of today's events. I now ask all of the graduates to remain seated while I ask everybody else who comfortably can to stand and join with me in a final congratulations to the graduates on their achievements. Would the audience please remain standing? And I ask the graduates to now please stand for the academic recession. Once the academic recession has left the hall, we ask guests to remain in their place and the staff of the university will assist them in exiting the hall. I now declare this congregation adjourned.